Oh my goodness!
Hi, my name is Olivia, and my partner Jimmy will also appear later in this video. We are two alumni from the AP Biology course of 2016 and 2017, and we are here to guide you through the year. We will give you an overview of the subject discussed throughout the year and also a brief description of our awesome teacher. Thanks! To start things off, I will introduce the four main biological concepts that will be essential to understand if you want even a glimmer of hope for succeeding in this class. Every unit discussed throughout the class can connect back to one or more of these big ideas. So, there's big idea 1, which is the process of evolution drives the diversity and unity of life. So evolution is the biggest thing and you have to know it. Everything in biology always connects back to it. Right? Big idea 2. Big idea 2 is biological systems utilize free energy and molecular building blocks to grow, reproduce, and maintain dynamic homeostasis. Big idea 3 is living systems store, retrieve, transmit, and respond to information essential to life processes. And then big idea 4, which is biological systems interact, and these systems and their interactions possess complex properties. So exciting. There are 5 fingers of evolution. First off is mutations, which cause variations in the gene pool originally. Natural selection comes from these mutations and chooses the mutations best suited for the environment. Natural selection is essentially just survival of the fittest. Next is gene flow, which causes change in the gene pool from immigration and emigration. So different alleles moving in and out of a population. Next is non-random mating, which arrives from like sexual selection. And then there's genetic drift, which is change in a gene pool because of a small population. Of course, the 5 fingers of evolution are only a brief overview of evolution as a whole. Mr. Wadek will go very in-depth with the mechanisms and evidences of evolution. Briefly, the class also goes over experimental review as well in the beginning of the semester. So we learn how to pose experimental questions, they cannot be yes or no questions, and how to find the independent and dependent variables of an experiment. You learn how to do labs, which turn out to be a really nice portion of your grade. In fact, it turns out to be 33.33333% of your grade. Chemistry of life in cells is what comes next. So in this unit, we learn about the 4 main biological molecules. They include carbohydrates, or sugars, oils and fats, or lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. We also learn about cells in this unit as stated before, and the 2 types of cells are prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. As shown here, eukaryotic cells have things called organelles in them, and that helps the efficiency of a cell, and prokaryotes do not have this. Also, eukaryotes have something called a plasma membrane around them, same as prokaryotes, which only allows certain things in and out. Why I'm running is because I have energy. Where do I get this energy, you ask? I get it from sugars in my body that are converted to ATP through a process called cellular respiration. So, when there's oxygen around, I can run super fast from the energy derived from cellular respiration. When there isn't oxygen around, my body goes through a process called fermentation. Fermentation is the burning you feel in your muscles when you do hardcore exercises. So, where do I get this from? Well, I get it from these little guys right here. Plants are autotrophs, or an organism that can produce their own sugars to create energy or ATP. They do this through a process called photosynthesis, which uses sunlight energy in order to make the glucose. Lucky you, we've reached the end of first semester. You really wish this was it, but second semester is 1,000 times worse. So the first thing we go through is homeostasis and survival, or like feedback loops. Homeostasis is the tendency of the body to seek and maintain a condition of balance. Homeostasis! The next unit discussed in the AP Bio curriculum is animal behavior. Animal behavior is what some people say is their favorite subject because one of the things they talk about is sexual cannibalism and watch many videos regarding the behavior of animals. For example, animals exhibit learned behaviors such as cognitive thinking in humans, and they also have innate behaviors such as fixed action patterns shown in mother geese. When something rolls out of their nest, they reach for it regardless if it's an egg or not. Oh my gosh, I am seeing so many cool animals. God, if only my immune system would work right now. Hey, what do you know? That is our next unit that I will discuss and that you go throughout the year. Your immune system is a fascinating thing. Some of it is an innate or non-specific, and it happens automatically. For example, skin and mucus is an example of your innate immune system because it stops everything and it doesn't discriminate when it comes to foreign invaders. The secondary immune response, or the specific immune response, involves T and B and helper T cells. So if the antigen enters your body, helper T cells will activate T and B cells. Oh, what do you know? How handy. That will go around, the T cells will go around stabbing and killing other cells infected by the antigen. B cells will be activated to produce natural antibodies that will destroy free-floating antigens. Another amazing thing is that memory T and B cells will be created, so that the next time the antigen enters your body, it will be recognized right away, and the time your body takes to fight off the disease is a lot faster than the first time. So this is essentially what vaccines do. Finally, we've reached the information unit, which includes genetic, the central dogma, cell division, which is meiosis and mitosis, and viruses, and like DNA as a whole. So this is arguably one of the hardest of the year, but you can get through it because of this video. You will learn about Punnett squares in this unit. That's one thing you learn, and then the central dogma, which is how you get from DNA to proteins. So you get from DNA to RNA through a process called transcription, and then RNA to proteins through a process called translation. That's the central dogma. Right before the AP test, we also clear up some loose ends about ecology, the nervous system, and other things that we might have missed throughout the year, and we really review it for the final test and the AP exam. So that brings me to the AP exam, which is essentially what this class is building you up towards throughout the whole year. The test is graded on a scale of 1 to 5. 3 and higher is a passing grade, and you usually need a 4 or 5 to receive college credit. Another thing to expect throughout the year is like homework. You really should stay on top of your homework or else you're going to fall behind in the class. Also, during this class, it's really beneficial to have study tips or like ways to study. One of them is the Cliff Notes book. Really helped me. Mine's kind of beaten up, but hopefully you can get a new one that you can use. And then also studying previous tests and having study groups and watching these following men. Bozeman, he's actually my best friend right now. The Crash Course guy, he's brother of John Green. Forgot his name. And then the Amoeba Sisters. There's so many other videos out there though, besides from just these people. But these are the ones that I recommend.
Hi there folks, now that you're familiar with the content of this class, I'm going to introduce you to what it's like being taught by one of my favorite teachers, Rob Wyduck. But before we get started, I should introduce myself. I'm Jimmy Furman. I was not as successful at this class as Olivia Keenan, but I still had a great experience. Let's get started. Hi! So, now I'm going to show you what it's going to be like on an average day in AP Bio. First, you're going to look at the board, and it's either going to say AP, grab a whiteboard, or just go to your seat. Since it says grab a whiteboard, I'm going to grab a whiteboard and head to my seat. So you're going to want to grab a whiteboard, an eraser, and a marker of your choice, and then you're going to head over to your seat. Mine is right here. Now that I've got this, I can either get started on the warm-up, which is either going to be something related to the topic we just learned yesterday, or it'll be a rebus, which is basically a word puzzle to get your mind going. Then, once you've started your warm-up, he's going to say, take out last night's homework. You're going to call it your homework. And it's essential to do this homework because if you want to be eligible for a retake, you have to have all of your homework assignments turned in within a week of the due date, and you have to have 100% on all of the quizzes that we've taken in class. But don't worry, you get 3 tries on those. Now that you've got your homework out, he's going to come around and check it off, and you're ready for the day. Okay, so some of the things that you can expect to do in AP Biology is either going to be Mr. Wydick lecturing, which is where he'll have a lecture up on the smartboard, and then you'll have access to the lecture presentation in Blackboard, and you'll be taking notes. And don't worry, what's really nice about this class is he'll tell you what's going to be on the test, so you only write down what's essential, not all the fluff. And then another thing that we do is labs, which is very stressful, but you know, they account for 33.333, etc% of your grade. And those are great because they take what you're learning in class and make it more of kind of a hands-on learning experience. So I didn't enjoy them the most personally, but they're very helpful and they can usually be a pretty good grade booster. What the fuck? Which direction do you don't give a shit? Is this direction right here? Microscope, microscope. Where the fuck is the microscope? Is this it right here? Don't touch my coffee! Oh, no, not the microscope, not the microscope. Where the fuck? I don't know how the hell this is going to replicate DNA synthesizing, but I mean, here we go. Okay. 5 minutes, then we're done. What you have is what you have. And then other stuff include either a whiteboard review where you're reviewing for a big test with the whiteboards and you're in a team, or just some group work working on either like a packet or a POGL and stuff like that. So usually the days in AP Bio are really well planned out, and Mr. Wydick will tell you what to expect that day within the first 5 minutes of class. Alright. So Mr. Wydick is usually a pretty even-tempered guy. He's usually very chill, but there are some days where you're going to want to be on your best behavior. Some of those keys are eyebrows, like so. Or shoulders. Or he doesn't make eye contact with anyone, and then you should expect a rant, and you're going to sit there and take it. I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to show you what to expect if he's not in the best mood, and then you should respond appropriately by being on your best behavior.
Hi.
Get out last night's assignment. Do any of you care? I put my heart and soul into this class, and none of you give a shit. Muskan, your point total is not 3 times as much as anyone else on the leaderboard. What the fuck? Do you not give a shit about this class anymore? I try so hard to teach you guys and do everything I can, but you don't give a shit. I should not care about this more than you do. Put that phone away. Oh, you want? Okay, you know what? Fuck. And you're just gonna kind of have to roll with it. You're gonna really learn to develop a thick skin in this class, and you're gonna have to be okay with messing up because it's going to happen, and you just have to be able to deal with it and persevere. All right? There's also gonna be times where he's gonna call on you and you're not gonna know the answer. That's just life, and that's what to expect. But what you don't want to do is say, I don't know, because then he's going to stay on you and he's going to force you to figure out something, and you have to figure out something until he feels satisfied and calls on someone else. Alright, should be an easy one. Noah, what is the middle finger on the 5 fingers of evolution?
I don't know.
Oh, you idiot! Another thing to expect with this class is that Wydick is known to be pretty loose with his mouth, so you're just going to kind of have to roll with it and don't take anything to heart because he's only trying to make you better as a student. But with that comes all the outbursts. So here's just a few of the outbursts or things that you should expect from Mr. Wydick. Did you just say the Earth is only 2017 years old? Oh! You don't think I'm going to eat this pencil? You don't think? Stop. So in this class, The science teachers, if you didn't know, have a little pool going with who can take the most phones. And Wydick is notorious for trying to take the most phones. So do not even risk taking your phone out during class, let alone have your sound on. And yeah, then you'll be okay. Our class together now. A's go with U's, C's go with... That's 31! That's 31! You're not getting this back. Okay, back to RNA-based pairing. So C's go with G's.
Just wanted to say that this is a really, really great class, and although we poked fun at it and said it's really hard and stuff, it was one of the most beneficial classes for me as a student, and also I learned so much throughout the course of the year. So thanks, Mr. Wydick, and you'll have a great year.